You wake up and something feels slightly off. Not painful, not dramatic, just unfamiliar, like you're wearing a version of yourself that doesn't quite fit anymore. You say the same things, laugh at the same jokes, go through the same routine. But inside, there's a quiet distance, like you're watching your own life from a step behind. You can't explain it, so you ignore it, but it keeps showing up in small, uncomfortable moments. When someone asks who you are and your mind goes blank, when you try to picture your future and see nothing clearly, when you realize you don't even know what you want anymore. There is a name for this feeling, and once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee it. You're not broken, you're not lost forever, and you're definitely not the only one. You're just standing in a place most never learn how to understand. You didn't lose yourself. You outgrew the person you were pretending to be, and by the end of this, you'll finally understand why this is happening and how to find your way back, not to who you were, but to who you actually are. You keep trying to go back to the version of you that felt certain, clear, defined, but something doesn't let you. You open old photos and feel like you're looking at a stranger. You remember how you used to think and it feels smaller somehow, like you can't squeeze yourself back into that shape. So you try something else, you adapt, you become what's needed in every room. Different with friends, different with family, different at work, and for a while it works. You become likable, functional, acceptable. But slowly something starts slipping because when you become everything, you stop being anything. You start hesitating over simple decisions. What do you actually enjoy? What do you really believe? You don't know anymore. That's the first moment you feel it clearly, not confusion, but absence, like your identity has holes in it. Then comes the second moment. You're alone, no one watching, and instead of feeling free, you feel empty. No role to play, no script to follow, just silence, and you realize you don't know who shows up when no one else is there. Then comes the third moment. Someone describes you and it doesn't feel right, not wrong, just incomplete. Like they're describing a character you play, not the person you are. This is where it gets heavy, because now you don't trust your own reflection. Before you thought you were lost, but now you're not even sure what found would look like. You start questioning everything. Your choices, your personality, your direction, and underneath all of it there's a quiet fear. What if there is no real you? What if this is it, a collection of roles stitched together just to survive? But here's the truth you haven't seen yet. This isn't the end of your identity. This is the breaking point before something more honest begins. You were told you should have a clear identity, a stable personality, a fixed version of yourself. You were told not knowing who you are means something is wrong, but that story was never true. There's a concept in psychology called identity diffusion, and it sounds negative, but all it really means is your identity isn't fully formed yet because it's still evolving. You're not broken, you're in transition. You were told you're confused, but that is not what you are. You are expanding. You were told you're inconsistent, but that is not what you are. You are exploring. You were told you've lost yourself, but that is not what you are. You are shedding what was never truly you. It feels uncomfortable because you're standing between two versions, the one you've outgrown and the one you haven't fully met yet, and that space feels like emptiness, but it's not empty, it's unfinished. What you're experiencing has a pattern, a structure most never notice. Let's call it the identity trap, not because you're stuck forever, but because it feels like you are. It happens in layers. The first layer is the borrowed self, the version of you built from expectations, family, culture, friends. You didn't choose it consciously, you absorbed it, like wearing clothes handed to you before you knew your size. You might notice this when you say things just because they sound right or follow paths that never felt like yours. Carl Jung described the persona as the mask you wear to meet the world, but the problem isn't the mask, it's forgetting you're wearing one. The most dangerous identity is the one you never questioned. Then come the cracks. This is where discomfort begins. The roles stop fitting, the reactions feel forced, you start noticing contradictions, you want things that don't match who you've been. This shows up as restlessness, overthinking, that quiet voice saying this isn't it. You might try to ignore it, stay busy, stay distracted, but cracks don't disappear, they spread. Then comes the empty space. This is where you are now. No clear identity, no solid ground. It feels like loss, but it's actually space. Think of it like renovating a house. The old structure gets torn down, and for a while it looks like destruction, dust, mess, nothing recognizable, but that's the only way something better gets built. You might notice this when you feel disconnected from everything that used to define you. Your interests shift, your priorities blur, and you think I've lost myself, but here's the shift. You didn't lose yourself, you removed what wasn't real. Then something changes slowly, quietly. You start noticing what actually resonates, not what impresses, not what's expected, what feels true. This is where Viktor Frankl found meaning, not by discovering himself, but by choosing who to be in each moment. And you begin doing the same, small decisions, honest preferences, no performance, just alignment. And eventually things start to connect. Your actions, your values, your identity start matching. You stop asking who am I because you're no longer searching, you're expressing. This is what Jung called becoming yourself, not perfectly, but honestly. Clarity doesn't come from thinking more, it comes from living more honestly. Your brain craves certainty, it wants a stable identity because that feels safe. There's something called the self-concept, the mental image you have of yourself, and your brain tries to protect it even if it's outdated. So when your identity starts shifting, your brain sees it as a threat. That's why you feel anxious, not because something is wrong, but because something is changing. Imagine updating an old map. The roads don't match anymore. That doesn't mean you're lost. It means the map is outdated and your brain is trying to catch up. This discomfort, this confusion, it's not a flaw, it's a sign. Growth always feels like disorientation before it feels like clarity. Now here's the part most skip. Understanding this means nothing if you keep living the same way, so let's make this real. The first step is identity subtraction, not adding more traits, not finding labels, removing what isn't you. For the next 24 hours, notice every moment you act out of expectation, not desire. When you say yes but feel resistance, pause and silently ask if no one expected this. Would I still choose it? If the answer is no, don't act. This works because clarity comes from contrast. You don't find yourself by adding more, you find yourself by removing what doesn't fit. The second step is micro-truths, small honest decisions, low stakes but real. Choose what you actually want in tiny moments. What do you really feel like eating? What do you actually want to say? Not what sounds right, what feels true. This works because identity isn't built in big moments, it's built in patterns. Repeated honesty creates a stable self. The third step is reflection loops. Every night, ask yourself one question. Where did I feel most like myself today? Not happiest, not most productive, most real. Write one sentence, that's it. Over time, you'll see patterns, not ideas, evidence. This works because your brain learns from repetition. You're training it to recognize authenticity, and once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it. Something shifts when you stop chasing identity and start noticing it. You become quieter inside, less pressure, less performance. You stop trying to explain yourself to everyone because you finally make sense to yourself. You'll catch it in small moments, when you choose something and it feels effortless, when you speak and it feels natural, when you're alone and it doesn't feel empty anymore. That's not confidence, that's alignment. You'll still change, still evolve, but it won't feel like losing yourself. It will feel like meeting yourself again and again in deeper ways. You'll stop asking, who am I supposed to be, and start living as whoever you are in that moment, and that changes everything because the truth is you were never lost. You were just buried under versions of yourself that were never meant to last. You didn't lose your identity, you outgrew what wasn't real, and if this gave you even a moment of clarity, stay with this kind of thinking because there's a deeper layer you haven't explored yet. The part where overthinking isn't the problem, it's the signal. There's another conversation waiting for you there, and for now, just sit with this. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're becoming quietly, honestly, in your own time.